Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Bit of a bouncy road service, and I'm pretty sure you can see it's quite a wet day in downtown Paphos. They promised us that the weather was going to break, but as usual, the weathermen have got it wrong. And to make it that little bit worse, we're making our way up into the mountains. So hopefully it's going to be a drive that you're going to enjoy, somewhere possibly that you haven't been before. Where are we? Well, we're working our way up into the Paphos Hills Luxury Resort, and then we're going to go out towards Calepia, and then we're going to take a diversion towards Stromby, over the top, and we're going to drop down towards Polis. Yep, you heard me correctly, that's where we're going. And Mr. Doug, if you're watching and you come back for the next episode, guess what? We're going to our Geica. Yes, I promised you we would, and that's where we're going. Now, let's check on the breakfast crew. Miss Dawn, are you there? Mr. Sean, are you there? Little Miss Daisy, my furry little ball of fluff all the way from Paphos. Get yourself relaxed, put your little arms around your cuddy little mate called Bobo, the little dog, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Mr. Allen, click on the machine. Let's get up to a nice leisurely pace, 2 or 3 miles an hour. We're going uphill, and of course it's a little bit damp, so don't forget to get your Marika and me nice blue baseball cap on, and your sunglasses and your t-shirt. As for the bottom half, well, we're not really bothered, we can't see it. Let's get going. Miss Anne, Mr. Roger, are you there? Yes. Miss Viv, get the kettle on, because we got plenty of cups of tea needed, that is for sure. And somewhere stuck in the middle there is Mr. Doug, the man up from Scotland, and he's hanging on to his glass of rum and coke for dear life, because the ride in this Land Cruiser is absolutely atrocious, don't you think?
Yeah, it's like roly-poly.
Speak up, I told you.
It's like roly-poly, isn't it?
I tell
It's
you.
rolling.
How many times have you got to tell him to speak up? There he is again.
Hello.
There we are. Speak up. You're on camera, being beamed around the world, and there's at least one person and a cat and a dog watching. So there we go. Where are we? Paphos Hills, downtown Paphos Hills, up in the hills above, well, the area known as, should we say, Armu and Tasada. That's where we actually are. And we're now going to come into sight of the luxury townhouses. These are about 750 euros. Jesus, that's bad. My God, about 750,000 euros for one of those. And then if you want a detached villa, well, you need a bit more than chump change, that's for sure, because the starting price is 1.5 million, and they very, very rapidly go up to 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yep, you heard me correctly. Luckily for us, we've got 1 or 2 customers up here, and they've all got a couple of bob, judging by the cars that we get to steal now and again. But don't worry, we always bring that car back, then we have a good rummage in your wallet or your purse, depending on what sex you are, and then we say salam alaikum, thanks very much, bye-bye, au revoir. Anyway, Miss JJ, JJ Tonic, yes, you were practicing your languages the night in the comments, and I no doubt your Gumbaru partner in crime, Mr. Andy, was either wiggling his rear end in his blue BMW, or he was on the language checker on Google. Who knows? But you always bring a smile to my face, that's for sure. So, slowly coming up now is going to be the clubhouse in a bit, after you've digested that rather nice foggy view in the distance. Looks like hell over there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's real,
Yeah, unreal. So this is downtown Paphos in the winter. So I understand that perhaps in the UK it's a bit cooler, perhaps up in northern Germany, Mr. Dirk, Mr. Michael, maybe it's a bit cooler. But you know, Cyprus is not used to this kind of weather. We don't like this kind of weather. You know, we didn't come here to get wet. Uh-oh, with a speed bump coming up. And this old girl doesn't seem to handle it that well, which is why we're going to have to go buy an S-Class, because, you know, oh so sweet Lady Caroline is having to rest her jopper on a memory foam cushion, Marika still in English, cushion all day long, and she's having to get up now and again to serve Nigel the Lord one of those gentleman sours, that's for sure. Now, big shout out to some of our superstars. Dame Anne, haven't heard you for a while. No, we haven't. Miss Fiona, Miss Nessie, yeah, that's the Alex crew, that's what they are. So here we are. To the left hand side is the clubhouse coming up, which means there are some golfing greens, 18 holes of it, and the main restaurant is in that building. On this side on the right, that's the hotel spa-y bit, and there's a luxury fashion shop there. You pop in there, you're going to come out bankrupt, that's for sure. and then the sparry bit is over here, and then the apartment hotel part starts just over there. Looks rather nice, but I did go on one of their websites the other day and check the prices, and they scared the living daylights out of me, that's for sure. I think it's cheaper to buy an S-Class, second hand obviously, and sleep in the back. So, we're going to wiggle and we're going to waggle along here a bit, and we're going to talk about the pluses and the minuses of buying a 27-year-old S-Class. So, my brother's sitting next to me, let's hear what he has to say. He's gone all numb, he's gone mute. Are you not talking to me?
Yeah, what you want to talk about?
Well, talk louder for a start.
Okay.
Do you think it's a good idea or a stupid idea?
Well, obviously, I'm the one pushing it.
Ah, he's the one pushing it. There we are. I think what we'll do, Miss Andrea, is go and have a look under his bed, and then we'll see if he's got an Uncle Bob, and we'll drag that Uncle Bob out and rip his arms off and see if he's got 10,000 euros to give us. Because that's the purchase price. Well, that's if we're lucky. That's what we're hoping for anyway. And then probably it's going to cost us, well, I dread to think, but I would think thousands every month. That's why I think thousands as we meander around. It's only going to do about 18 to a gallon for a start.
Yeah, on the fueling, but if you, it's the repairs and stuff. Yes, the parts are expensive, but they last.
Well, I was looking at part prices on the internet actually in Germany only last night, and well, I thought the parts on my Mercedes were quite expensive, but obviously this is a Mercedes that is no longer in manufacture, and the gun barrows that happen to own one or two that they're breaking for parts understand that. And well, a rear window pane of glass, which apparently is a very, very common fault on these cars because it's double glazed, and apparently the seal breaks and then it starts to mist up. Anyway, that rear window is £327 plus shipping from Germany. It's just for a rear window.
It is double glazed.
Yes, there we go then. So at least we won't need to call Anglia, I suppose. Anglia Windows, I suppose they charge us an arm and a leg.
It's cheap compared to Everest.
Talking about windows, Everest, my God, don't go to them. They'll rip you off, they will. My God. Right, where are we? Well, we're joining the main to Sada Road to Calepia, and then eventually that takes you out to Lamona, and it keeps on going up into the hills and the mountains. Quite a nice drive, by the way. But, you know, not at this time of the year, I don't think. Unless you're in a big old girl like this Land Cruiser, maybe. Or a Range Rover, like Mr. Andrew, who's whizzing around those back lanes of northern Shropshire, hunting down the long-haired lover from, well, I don't know where he's from, but he's got long hair, and he drives a blue BMW and likes to wiggle its rear end. JJ, keep him under control. That's what I say, keep him under control. Now, you're going to get some spectacular views as we go over this little hump, and we're going to transcend down towards the area known as Calepia village, and you're going to come into uptown Calepia very, very soon. And if you were to take a right, you would then wiggle and waggle down to the lower part. A beautiful village, by the way, nice cobbled area in the centre, nice taverna, and that's where the Mukhtar, the mayor, hangs out, and probably his gun barrows, and they chill out. And well, probably not this time of year actually, it's too cold.
And there's a couple of English bars there as well, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Well, there was an English restaurant at one time, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I think that's long gone. But there's quite a lot of expats who live in this area. Reason being, well, you're only about 15 minutes from downtown Paphos.
Also, it's along the wine route, isn't it?
And it's on the wine route. There we go. You trying to say some of the expats like a tipple?
Well, it's the wine route.
Well, it's the wine route.
That's why they're there.
When you're retired, if you want to have one too many, don't worry. And of course, if you do clip your lamppost, you can always call Mr. Paul. He'll come and steal your car and then steal your money, that's for sure.
It's the more upmarket pub crawl.
It's the more upmarket pub crawl. Right, downtown Calepia, that's where we are. Just coming up on the right-hand side is the downtown Calepia. Well, that's the ministry offices there, Calepia Community Council Museum and offices, and of course it's closed because it's just too cold.
You'll find out in Cyprus that there's a lot of museums in these various villages in the mountains.
And they're often closed.
Yeah, it's not much.
Big diggers over there?
Not much of demand.
No, but they open up in the summer, and people are a bit more friendly in the summer because they understand there's tourists about, and they all want to spend their money, and we want to get it, that's for sure. Wow, look at that for a view. Cloudy, miserable day in downtown Calepia, and that's the view across the, well, the moorlands of downtown Stromby. We are coming into the rear of Polemi. That's where we're coming. So if you're curious to know where we're going, I've the bottom of this little hill. This little blue sign here tells us that we can go to, well, I'm not even going to try and pronounce those things. We're going to Polemi. That's where we're going. We're going to take a left and we're going to go down this little side lane, and that'll bring us out in Lower Polemi. Then we'll join a bit of a highway, and then eventually we are going to join the main highway from Paphos to Polis, and that will be the village of Stromby. So we have been there before. Yes.
So the viewers may not realise, but he had to really fight this vehicle to make that turn.
Yes, she's a big old girl, and she's also got a bit of a warped disc.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a wobble. So I think I'll be phoning the customer up saying, "Oi, oi, I think you need your brakes doing as well. Let's get some more money out of that wallet." He's a nice chap. He's got a couple of bob. He lives in a very, very big villa, and he's got two of them. Yeah. He's got 2 Land Cruisers. My God, the running costs are, well, very, very high indeed. And this one is a 4-litre petrol straight 6 or V6, I'm not sure. No, it's a V, isn't it? You can tell by the noise. And the road tax, if you're curious to know, on this car in Cyprus is €1,200. Yep, you heard me correctly. This one is €1,200. And he's got an older one, which is a diesel, which is the better of the 2 cars, to be honest. And that one has got a road tax of about 600, I think he told me. And I think he's right, to be honest. So if you're curious to know about some of the bills in Cyprus, some of the road taxes are quite reasonable. If you've got something like a little Honda Jazz, Honda Fit, we call them over here. If you've got one of them, you're probably going to pay a road tax of around about 60-ish euros for the year. If you're driving around a 220 diesel E-Class, say from 2010, 2011, you're going to pay about 150 euros. If you're driving around an old girl like my E-Class from 2007, it's a W211, and it's got a 3-litre diesel engine, so I'm an idiot. So there you go, my road tax on that is just under 700. The S-Class we're about to go and look at has a road tax, hold on, we can go through a river, there we go, look at that, wow. That's some rains, that's for sure. Well, the road tax on the S-Class that we're going to go and look at apparently is 850 euros. So what idiots would go and buy this car? That's what I've got to ask. And we've got a man in Bristol, Mr. Paul, and his partner in crime, Miss Mo, and he's telling us it's a good buy. Well, when I see you next, Mr. Paul.
I concur, he's got very good taste.
Next time I see you, Mr. Paul, I'm going to stick my hand in your pocket, I think. Get some of your money, because you seem to have plenty of it, because you've got more cars than anyone else I know. He's got about 3 Mercedes, he's got a Suzuki Jimmy, he's got something else and something else.
Nice.
Yeah, he loves cars. But of course he is a mechanic, so I suppose he can do them in his spare time. He likes to wheel and deal as well. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you in May. You let us know when you're going to fly in. Of course, we're going to drop off your little white Honda HR-V in the airport. With the ticket in the glove box and the kiosk, the key will be there as well. So where are we? Polemi, that's what the sign says. We have arrived in the back entrance of Polemi. A little bit further, we're going to wiggle to the left and we're going to come out to by the front entrance of the village of Polemi. And then of course we're not going to enter Polemi, we're going to head out towards Stromby. So I think it's coming that time where we're going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, please consider hitting the like, click the subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of our insanity. And if you really, really want to watch the channel grow and help us travel that little bit further, please consider going through to our About page, where you could hit the Buy Me a Coffee icon and perhaps consider to buy us a coffee or two. And we'll convert that into coffee first thing in the mornings, and of course as the day progresses we will turn it into benzene, which is liquid petrol, and we'll put it into the tank of whatever car we're driving, and we'll take you with us on that adventures. Now, look at that happy ending. We've driven through the storm, and as you can see, the blue sky is breaking through the greyness. The sun is trying to come out. Absolute paradise. Now, talking about benzene, we better stop at the petrol station down here and put a bit in this, because this thing is guzzling it at about 16 to the gallon, so it says.
Make Polis?
Well, all right, we'll freewheel down the hill to Polis. Thanks for watching.
Put a new road in over there.
They put new roads in everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, build some.
Whether they're going to tarmac them or not is debatable.